There are several professionals in the built environment. I think there are about 6 or 7. You have the town planner, you have the architect, you have the engineers, you have the quantity surveyor, you have the land surveyor, you have the builder. I think there are about 6. But come to think of it, look at the engineers. They have about 6 or 7 specializations within that building engineering environment. Mechanical, electrical, civil structures, and blah, 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 blah. And they all work on this. So, for those who studied architecture, some are into urban landscape architecture. Some are into construction. Some are into design. Some are into urban design, urbanism, and so forth and so forth. You understand? Where are we? I'm a town planner. Yes, I'm a town planner. What can you do? If you see our cards, our logo, we are all generalists. We design. And don't forget, our studies at master's level and PhD levels, even your projects, some of us are doing housing, some are doing tourism, some are doing transport, some urban development, urban management, environmental management. We just practice generally. Let me give you an instance, and it's a very, 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 very serious issue for me that day. There was a presentation in Lagos State School and on tourism. They came, they talked, and we noticed there was a need to do more on what those consultants have done. And those consultants are not even professionals related to tourism or environmental development. So and I spoke. I said, I told the commissioner, don't worry, bring those things. Let the Ministry of Fiscal Planning help you. Everybody in the meeting said, what do you have to do with it? I said, it's a core competence in urban and regional planning. He said, no. That's the level we are. And who is actually a tourism expert? If you go to the universities or polytechnics, you'll see some lecturers who are experts, specialists, who maybe by virtue of the courses they taught, they do that day in there. They go outside and ask who is a tourism expert. They'll be telling you about hospitality. Some people are into monuments. How many town planners are into monuments conservation and preservation of historic buildings? There is an issue in Lagos State. The urban regional planning law, during Governor Fashola's regime, removed conservation and preservation or conservation of historic building from the urban regional planning law and put it in the Ministry of Tourism. And those in tourism doesn't even know anything. They don't even know it's a core competence for them. We found out they don't even know. They are not doing anything about it. And having done that, we also found out that with LAPCA's regulation and what the Ministry of Tourism was supposed to do, there was a conflict. One, the officers in LAPCA does not even know what it takes to what an historic monument is. A property to be preserved, they don't even know, or conserved, they don't even know. This one is a, what do we call this building now? That is collapsed. When we say building is, no, that one, when old buildings, there is a name we call it, distress. So they see an historic property distressed. What do? They will remove it. They will remove it. Because they don't even know. That has to be preserved for whatever. So the Ministry of Tourism that is supposed to carry out preservations and identify all those properties are not doing that because they don't even know. LAPCA that has powers to remove distressed building cannot even identify an historic monument. So they see it as distressed building from engineering perspective, and they remove it. There was a case in Badagry. Lucky enough, those people wrote, but it has already been marked for removal, demolition. And I saw the letter and I said, how come? And lucky enough, during, I think Governor Fashola's period, when there was another signed by the governor and listing some historic structures in the states. Lucky enough, that property was listed. And the question is, where is that document? We had to look for it. Got to notice it was listed. But before we got to that stage, my officers were telling me it has been marked and it has to go. I said, this is an historic monument. No matter its state, we have to preserve it. And we have another issue. The Ministry of Fiscal Planning, when they were doing their road alignment for road expansion, saw it at the time they were removing. They bypassed it. Okay. They left it. They did not remove it. So they had to shift the road for that structure to stay there. But after saw it and said, it's going. And some officers are saying, this must go. I said, no, it cannot go. And we had to go look for that document. We saw it there. And I did a memo to Mr. Governor. I said, this is an historic. This building must be preserved. And the governor approved that it should remain preserved. But don't be surprised, somebody who can still remove it tomorrow. Somebody without knowledge, who doesn't know. So, there is a need for the Ministry of Tourism and Fiscal Planning to collaborate. And possibly, I don't know if they need to move that powers back to the ministry for them to be effectively preserve some of our historic monuments.